Hey guys, Spud here, and today we're going to make a quick and dirty video to take a look at the brand new AI BVR engagement system that was released with the new DCS World Open Beta update. Of course, I am late to the game a little bit here again with this update, but I'm here and I've run through a few different BVR scenarios against the AI and working with AI wingmen, and really all I have to say is wow, it makes a big difference. And I think it'll actually make the AI a great training tool for those of you guys who like to engage in PvP fights on DCS World open servers or competitions, things of that nature. It'll also, of course, make single player in DCS a heck of a lot more immersive and realistic. So we're going to fly through this scenario together. I'm going to be periodically pausing the simulation to show you guys what's actually happening, because it's honestly quite a joy to just watch the AI do their thing with this latest update. And this, coupled with hopefully a fantastic dogfight update for the AI in the next open beta, is really going to transform single player air-to-air combat in DCS. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and make sure we are all set up and ready to go to engage in some BVR combat in our F-16C Block 50 Viper. Alright, we're in twist mode, we're in air-to-air mode. Make sure we have our TGP set up over here. We'll increase the brightness since we're doing an air start in the evening time. Increase the gain a little bit, perfect. Alright, go back to the HSD for now. And we'll make our -2 our primary data link track. There we go, so we can keep track of him a little bit easier. And let's take a look at our opposition. So on the F10 map here, we can see that we have a few MiG-29Ss, and they are armed with 2 times R77 adders as well as 2 R73s. And these guys are definitely going to give us a run for our money in our F-16s. Our F-16s, however, are armed with 5 times A120 Bravos and 1 times AIM-9 X-ray. So we have a little bit of a mixed loadout there. What's really cool about the AI, and it's done this a few different times as I've flown through this same scenario, is the AI is actually setting up a chainsaw type of tactic here, where this first guy is going to fire one of his R77s, he's going to peel off. The second guy is going to fire one of his, he's going to peel off, so on and so forth. With your own AI, you kind of have to more or less lead them through different tactics that you want them to approach the fight with. I've tried putting them into trail formation for our own kind of chainsaw-like situation, but for the most part, the AI wingmen, it's kind of hard to get them to do kind of specific air-to-air tactics, but it works just fine for our purposes today. And we can see that the AI now really shoots for the moon to try and get to a point where they can give the maximum range possible to their BVR missiles that they're carrying, whether they're R27s, AIM-120s, AIM-7s, R77s here, it really doesn't matter. So we can see this lead guy, he's really burning hard. The good thing is, I think even in an F-16, we actually carry more gas than a MiG-29, so we're probably going to run him out of gas pretty quick here. Back in our cockpit, let's go ahead and pull off of the altitude and roll modes of our HUD, our autopilot, and we will start to climb up as well. Probably be prudent of me to turn off my external lights. And this fight should occur all the way from about 36,000 feet all the way down to the deck. It seems that it's kind of like a shootout at the OK Corral, if you want to say something like that, because it's like everyone fires their BVR missiles, it gets really low, and then everyone starts to get into, more within visual range type of fights pretty darn quickly within the fight. And it's interesting how the range of the missile shots goes from very long range at the beginning of the fight to very short range at the end of the fight. And while performance-wise, the MiG-29S, which it would be considered the MiG-29C in Western NATO parlance, is very, very limited from a situational awareness perspective, and I think that that is coming through in this fight against the AI. My AI wingmen are set to ace. All 4 of the enemy MiG-29s are set to ace as well. So we can see way up here with our AIM-120 Bravos, even at 34 nautical miles, we're starting to get a launch queue as we are just screaming through the air at this point. So why don't we go ahead and fire an opening salvo. And there we go. Looks like the lead MiG-29 has done the same. As you guys, of course, will see, the AI still always launches their missiles, even active radar-guided missiles, in STT mode. So that's why we're getting a launch warning here. Whereas if this were multiplayer, we probably wouldn't be getting a launch warning from the enemy player who does not want to give away what's going on. So as we can see here, Russian R-77, much faster missile than an AIM-120. And so especially an AIM-120 Bravo with those bigger fins. So this is why his missile is outranging us pretty quickly here and is getting to us pretty darn quick. So what I'm going to probably do here is end up kind of doing going cold and coming back around behind my wingman here, kind of in a pseudo chainsaw, even though we're not in a long trail formation. And we can see these guys are way spread out, and even the trailer out here, he's still going for the moon, following his buddies up here to get his R-77s launched as far as possible. So the way this fight seems to play out is everyone fires their missiles and gets real low, and then it turns into a very close-range knife fight. So we'll see how that develops this time. C2's up there still. Missiles basically going to be active pretty soon, so I think we can go ahead and leave it. One thing that I would say when you're in a BVR fight is don't expect every single missile to be a kill. So, and then here's a really, really good learning point as well, is when we're in this kind of situation, we're making a evasive maneuver here. We can see that that missile that's now active, even though he fired in STT mode, AI weirdness and DCS and so on and so forth. But that missile is on our 6. We've just made a pretty hard evasive maneuver, turning almost 180 degrees to put that missile on our 6 o'clock, our deep 6. So that means that we've more or less defeated that missile. So even as we start to bring our nose back around here, back in line, back towards our wingmen out here with their contrails, that missile is going to be defeated. So even if we have an RWR indication that a missile is after us, we know we can pretty much disregard it because it's going to be defeated. And we can see out here that that missile, see, speed 471 knots, my speed 596. That missile is trashed. It is done. The first missile I fired was pretty much just a, here, take a look at this, buddy, see what you think about it, hopefully you go defensive kind of thing. Because there's no way my first missile was to do anything, just like that first missile didn't do anything either. So I'm going to come back up to altitude behind my wingman. And we can see that missile's out over here somewhere, but it is not a threat. So once you do a large evasive maneuver like that, and you know that you trashed that missile, even though it's still beeping at you in your RWR, just go ahead and disregard it because it's not going to be able to hit you. We can see our wingmen here with their contrails are starting to crank, and they're starting to go defensive against the enemy. And we can see a nice long trail of MiG-29s out here. And if we look at them, they're up at 24, 25, and 23 and 24,000 feet. So looks like they're starting to go defensive as well. Looks like our F-16s are breaking off to the left. The MiG-29s are breaking off to their left as well. This guy's down at 5,000 feet. That's dangerous. So let's go ahead and go after this guy. And we're going to have to go defensive. that guy kind of snuck up after me here a little bit. And we can see this R-77, this is a new one coming at us with its higher airspeed. Coming probably from this guy down low, try to snuck one right underneath these guys. Here's my AIM-120. Hopefully this can get a kill on that down low MiG-29. I'm guessing we probably won't. But this is definitely playing out differently than it did in the last time I ran this scenario, which makes it way more fun in my opinion. Someone's going down. Guy down here, he's at 11,000 feet. Get our radar up on him. Box 3. And looks like somebody got him. So we can see that we've lost one of our wingmen, and yep, so somebody else got him. And then we probably went a little too defensive on this fight. Our wingmen are pretty much doing the bulk of this fighting. And it looks like this guy here is, yep, he's down there. And this guy, he's going back defensive. Even though he just fired an R-77, probably at this guy, these guys are AMRAAM jousting. I'm wondering if this guy's going to get killed, though, because this MiG-29 down here is nose on to him and is maybe going to cut him off. So we'll probably have to come in and try to help these guys out. So we'll drop the lock on that guy. So we're now locked up the guy that we just said was nose on, about to cut off our wingman. We've got 2 AMRAAMs left and an AIM-9 X-ray. Looking at the F-10 map, we can see that this guy is definitely the guy that we have blocked up, and it looks like our wingman here is potentially going to eat an R-77. Actually, maybe not. But this guy just fired this one at us, which is not very nice, so we will return the favor. And we can see that missile launch down there. Pulling hard. Getting into that low, dense air. You can see that missile's off of our 6 o'clock. And if we look at the F-10 map, we can see that we have definitely defeated that missile. Down in this low, dense air down around the ground here, basically one hard maneuver, especially against a very fast but not very maneuverable missile like an R-77, is going to be really difficult for that missile to be able to do anything. So we can see that missile is now chasing us. And looking at the F-10 map again here to just kind of give you guys an illustration of how this fight is going. The MiG-29 that fired that R-77 at us was hit by our AIM-120 that we launched at us. And for those of you guys who are new to BVR or close range fighting, when that BVR fight gets really close up in your face, when you launch an AIM-120 at an enemy aircraft really close to you, you can just go ahead and disregard trying to support that missile via data link. Just fire it. Even if you don't have a radar lock on them, the radar of the missile itself will lock onto the aircraft and guide it right into it. So under about 10 nautical miles, don't worry about supporting the missile at all. As well as if you just fire at Pitbull right off the wing of the jet without even a radar lock on anyone, more or less good chance that you're going to actually shoot them down with that AIM-120 shot. And just for fun, let's watch this guy get hit by the AIM-120 right there. Boom. And there goes one of our wingies. Nice. So, wow. This is such an amazing addition to the whole DCS World AI system that it is really, really, really making me excited for the potential of, hey, it looks like it was my number 2 who actually shot that guy down. Nice. It's really making me excited for the updated dogfight AI that should be coming in the near future, as well with the next DCS World Open Beta update in June. I'm really, really, really hoping that we no longer have MiG-15s that fly like UFOs and never run out of energy and can out dogfight and out energy fight an F-16. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was quick and dirty. I hope it was entertaining for you guys, and definitely hop on and give this a try because, man, it is an absolute blast and a joy to do air-to-air combat in DCS World against the AI now. Wow, what a fun time, guys.